What's up everybody, I'm Jonathan and welcome to my channel. For those who are already subscribed, I'm sorry for not posting for a while. I've had a lot on my plate. But now I'm back with a bunch of new tutorials and a whole new editor. In this video, I'll be showing you how to simply create a preloader for your website. So without further ado, let's dive into it. This is my website and I'm gonna refresh it and see the loader that I have on my page. It's gonna show for a few seconds and disappear. And then we can continue scrolling our website. We're not going to focus on the website part, but only on the preloader. So I've got my website open in the editor. First things first, we need a container to start designing our preloader. Now, I'm not going to do it on the rest of my design here, but I'm going to do it separately in a blank section, just not to mess things up. So I have this section right here, and I'm going to drag a new container to it. And I'm gonna start designing it. Change the background color and the size. The size is important, so let's deal with that first. I'm gonna align this to the left and to the top of my section. Now I'm gonna open the advanced settings and change the width to 100% because we want it to cover always the whole width of the page. And we want to change the height also to cover the whole viewport height, no matter what screen size we are on, whether we're on desktop, laptop, or mobile. We always want the loader to cover all the height. So I'm not going to touch size, but I love changing the size from here, from rows. Basically, each container is a grid. So this is the units of the grid size. I'm going to change this to VH, viewport height, and change this to 100. There we go. Now it's always going to cover the whole screen when it loads. Now I want to drop a few elements right here. So I personally added a transparent video and a few text elements, but you can do whatever you want with your loader. It can be a GIF, it can be a Lottie file, it can be a video, it can be just animations. So do whatever you want with it. It's totally customizable. That's why we're using a container and simple elements. And I'll show you once we're done with this how to create the animation. All right, so I've added a video, but I'm gonna change it to mine. Okay, so my video is called Beat. This is the one I used, and I'm gonna make it a bit larger. And let's center it. Maybe even bigger than this, 350. There we go. And to recolor your videos, you can simply toggle this on, and then you can change the color of your transparent videos. As you can see here, I just chose to go with this hue, which makes a blue out of this video, and it looks quite nice. Next, we want to add the text elements to the loader. So I'm going to drag a title from the add panel, connect to the heading 1 in my theme because it already has the font and the size that I need. And I'm just going to change the color to white so we can see it. Let's write something like good things. And instead of adjusting the size always to any title that you're typing in here, what I love doing is simply change this to hug, and then the box always fits the content inside. It's only good for titles, short titles, because it's always going to expand in one big row. So don't use it for paragraphs. Let's center this, and I'm gonna duplicate this and change the theme to paragraph 1, which is a different font, different size, and change the color as well. Good things are worth waiting for. There we go. So that's our text. Center it and stack these two together. Just because I love keeping everything tidy and not just in space. So I'm just going to stack these two text together. By clicking on this handle, we can reset the margins between them, the spacing basically. And let's make sure these elements are all centered in my container. Yes, they are. Perfect. So that's how it looks like. What I don't like is this scaling. So I might want to change everything to fixed size. So by selecting the responsive behavior, we can set it to fixed, change the stack to fixed, and the font size, of course. So I'm going to select the text and turn off scale text for both elements. And there we go. And select the stack again. Let's align the items to the center right here. And there we go. Now if we change the resolution, we see that everything stays in place. Perfect. Okay, so this looks good. Now we want to make sure it looks good on mobile as well, before we continue to actually creating the animation. All right, so here it's a little too big, so let's adjust the size. Now I see that this is 350 width. I might want to change this to 320, and that's because the smallest mobile resolution is 320. There's nothing smaller than that, so just be on the safe side. I'm just going to put in 320 here. We can also change the size of our font. So here the title can be about 60. And yeah, I think that looks quite good. Also, the stack should be about 320. There we go. Now it hugs it and everything is centered. Not scaling too much, not scaling at all, just the rest of the elements on our page. And yeah, that's good. Now, where do we want to place it and how do we place this loader? Now, this is an important part. So if you want this loader to be only on one page, you would just change the position of this container, not section, to pinned and set it pinned to the page. Okay, this is how it's pinned to the page itself and gonna appear only on one page. Or if you copy it and paste it in a different page, it's gonna appear there as well. But we want to make this loader automatic on each page. So I'm just gonna put this container in my header. Okay, so I'm gonna unpin it, set to default. I'm gonna cut the container, remove this blank section because we don't need it, and up here in my header, which is already frozen on scroll, so we have a few options here. Header settings, we have scroll with site, freeze, which makes it scroll with us, and different options here. I have it on freeze and overlap next section. Now, once I paste my container in the header, we can see that the header itself got much larger. I'm going to select the header and we can see that it's huge. So, right, so it's 878 pixels. So how do we prevent that from happening? First of all, I'm going to select the preloader. I'm going to call it preloader so we won't lose it. Preloader. And let's fix the sizing. So I need to fix the width to 100%. I need to align it to the left and top. And the height is correct. The height is 100 VH. Now, to make our header smaller, we need to give negative margins to the container. So I'm going to select the container, go down to the position box, and the bottom margin, we're going to use a numeric trick here and provide negative margins. So negative 100 VH. So now you will see the header, there it is, back to its original size, because my container is 100 VH size. I gave it negative 100 VH in the margins. So my header now does not know the actual size of this element. It just ignores it completely. Okay, it is placed inside the header, but the size of this preloader is ignored completely. So that's quite a nice trick. You can use it in other places as well. All right, so we have the preloader, but without the animations yet. So let's apply a few animations on these elements right here. So on the video, we're gonna go to the interactions tab, add the entrance animation and fade. Let's go to adjust animation and change the duration to 1 second. Now I'm gonna select the title and add an animation to that as well. Entrance, and let's select slide this time because we want the text to slide from the bottom. So I'm gonna hit adjust animation from bottom. Let's preview this, how it looks like. Okay, it looks good, but I'm gonna change the delay to make it appear after the video loads. So we need about half a second, and next text as well. Entrance, slide, and we want to make it appear only after our title starts animating. So we're gonna change this to 1 second. So we have kind of a difference of half a second between these three elements, and we can hit preview to see how it looks like. There we go. Okay, it looks nice, but it's not going anywhere. And we're gonna handle that right now. So to make it leave the screen, first of all, we don't want this loader to always stay here because it's always covering my website and I cannot continue working. It's disturbing me right here. So how do we get rid of it? Is simply by adding negative margins again, but to the other side, to the one that it's docked to. So our preloader container is docked to the top of the header, and we're gonna add some negative margins to that as well. Negative 100 VH. There we go. So it's not in our screen anymore. We can continue working in the editor. Nothing is disturbing us. And we're just gonna load this preloader using some CSS. Now, don't worry, you don't need to know CSS. I'm gonna explain everything that we're gonna write right now. And it's pretty simple. It's just using an animation to make it slide out. So if your dev mode is not open, on the left-hand side, click on code and start coding to open your dev mode. Now, down here, you'll see CSS and the file global CSS. This is the CSS file of your website. This is where you write your custom CSS and apply on any element inside the editor. All right, so we're gonna animate our preloader out. So I'm gonna close this. And first things first, I want to create the animation. How do I create the animation? Is by using keyframes, such as any editing software like After Effects or any other editing software. We are gonna create the keyframe using code. It's pretty simple. So I'm gonna start writing keyframes, and here I want to name my animation. So how am I gonna name it? I'm gonna name it site loader, like that. I'm gonna open the curly brackets, and in the curly brackets I want to give the animation the endpoint, where to stop, where to animate to. So we're gonna do 100%. 100% is when the animation completes. Open curly brackets one more time, and we're gonna transform the element up. Okay, so once the website loads, we're gonna have the loader in the viewport, and we're gonna make it transform up. So we're gonna write transform, and the way to move it up is translate Y. This is the Y axis. Translate Y, negative 100 VH. There we go. That's it. The animation is done. Pretty simple. Now we need to apply this animation. how do I apply the animation is, first of all, give the element a CSS class name. So let's select the preloader right here, and right here on the right hand side you'll see custom classes. You can call it whatever you like. So I'm gonna call it loader container. Just make sure you're using this name in your code. There we go. Hit enter and we have loader container. Now to reference this CSS class, we add a dot before we write it. Loader container and open curly brackets. There we go. Now we can start writing and giving some animation properties or telling it what to do. Now we're applying the custom CSS on this specific element. So first thing is kind of a trick that I want to do is bring this element back to the viewport, because right now it's out of the viewport. It's like negative 100 VH out of the viewport. Somehow we need to bring it back to the center of our viewport and cover the rest of the elements, the rest of the website. How we're going to do that is simply by resetting the top margin. We're going to write margin top 0 VH. That's how we reset it. I'm going to leave some comments right here. Reset top margins and bring loader back to the viewport. Okay, this is what this code does, what this line does. Next line is giving the animation some properties, how long to play, what to play. So this is called animation, sorry. And we're gonna choose the name of the animation we created, and the name is site loader. There it is. It's the one we created here. You can simply copy and paste it right here. Next thing is how long you want the animation to play. So the animation of my element moving out of the viewport, I would say 1.5 seconds. So it's 1.5 seconds. Now this is an important part. After the duration, you want to add the direction of the animation. I know it sounds a little confusing, but that's only a few options here. Whether it's in a loop, which is infinite, forwards, which is only one time, play from the beginning till the end, one time, and in reverse, if you want to play the animation in reverse. We're going to choose forwards. And after forwards, we would like to give some easing. Now, easing is really up to you guys. My personal preference is coming to this website. I'm going to share it in the comments as well, in the description of the video. And here I have tons of easing options. So my favorite one was, I think, ease out expo. No, ease in expo. Yeah, that's the one. And you can play the animation here. So once you play the animation on one of these properties, you're gonna see what's the easing, whether it starts fast or it starts slow, and how it ends. So this is the one that I chose. And then the only thing you need to do is simply copy this cubic Bezier, this whole thing, copy and paste. That's it, guys. Your animation is complete. This is, let's write animation properties. There we go. You can customize this as you would like. And something I want to mention is this loader is not based on your website actual content loading. It does not know when your content finished loading or not. So we're going to fake it, and we're going to add some delay to the animation. So I'm going to start the animation 5 seconds delay. After it comes to the screen, we will see a black container, and after a few seconds it's going to start the animation and will disappear. All right, so how we add it is animation delay, and I'm going to add here 5 seconds. Now, once again, this is up to you, up to your personal preference. You can play with the timing here, whatever feels right to you, use here in these settings. It's up to you. All right, I'm just going to leave another comment here, and time until the animation of the loader starts. There we go. So that's our whole code, guys. It's not that difficult. Let's hit preview. No, you know what? Let's hit publish, and let's see the actual live site, how it looks like. There it is. That's the black container loading the elements that we animated and animating out of the viewport. And we can continue scrolling through our website. Just keep in mind, guys, that this is going to appear now on all pages of your website. If it's a one pager, no problem. But if you have multiple pages, leave it in the header, which is a global section, if you want this animation on each page that you navigate to. But if not, if you want this animation to happen specifically on some pages or only on the home page, make sure this container that we created, this loader, is not placed inside a global section. You can just pin the container to the page, just as I showed before, and copy and paste this container on each page you want this to play. Otherwise, it's going to appear on all navigations. And that's it, guys. We created a very, very nice custom preloader to our website. You can totally customize it in terms of design and animation. It's really interesting for me to see what you guys achieve with this tutorial. So if you want, you can share your websites with your loaders down in the comments below. Also, if you have some feedback or requests for more videos, more tutorials, write them down below, and I'm gonna try my best to make a tutorial out of them. And I'm gonna share this template with you guys once it's uploaded to the templates market, and all the assets needed for you guys to start from this website, or to just copy the code, or to just copy the container that I created. So I'm gonna share all these assets with you, and we'll meet in the next video. Take care, guys.